I had many moments like these, without a clock measuring my life, collecting the data of my days, times when minutes and hours were never wasted, but exchanged for knowledge and adventure. Lulled by the undulating waters and the endless sun and bosomed birdsong, I dozed effortlessly in and out in a mixture of contentment and entitlement. With meaningless seconds remaining before my self-disciplined decision to stand and climb onto the institutionally rusted railings and dive into the cold waters of the res, I took one last look into the Medusan waters. I trained my eyes, controlled the focal length of my perfect, unstigmatized child sight. I could see the depth now, down deeper than I could before. 2, maybe 3 feet below, entranced by the secrets of the depths. There was an air bubble, smaller than a pinhead, spiraling into the surface, followed by a larger object. As it came into vision, it rotated as it rose, finding its balance before almost breaking the surface tension of the water. It seemed to be a small twig, and at first I thought it was a windfall from the trees surrounding the waters. It bobbed and enticed like it hadn't a care in its new-found world. Scooping it from the water, I laid it on the wood next to my head, watched as the water around it was absorbed into the dryness of the fibres of the timber. I recognized it as some sort of dead insect, resurrected from its watery tomb. I saw the power of the midday sun quickly dry the casing of the object, turning the blackness into a hazel-skinned sarcophagus. It was changing shape now, getting longer and wider as the moisture from it dissipated. Undramatically, a seam along the back of it opened up, and quietly, without ceremony, it got wider and longer. I could see the contents, though I could not make out any of its shape and form. There was more moisture inside the shell, and I watched as the warmth of the day continued to alter the size and length. Then, in contrast to all that had preceded it, there was drama. Minute life-changing drama, moving inside the cocoon, for which it was only the dry remnants of its former self. I watched transfixed as the creature expanded exponentially, breathing but not breathing. Was it moving? I questioned myself. Or was it vibrating gently in the breeze? Slowly, with minuscule yet monumental effort, it lifted itself from within itself, leaving its original carcass behind. I saw a long tail unfold, and coil perfectly to double, then treble its length. Witnessing its beginning had completely taken me away from the world. I saw the wings unglue themselves from the length of its body, fall damply alongside. The insect rested between bouts of activity. I willed it on, silently chanting my evolutionary encouragement. The wings gently but symmetrically became perpendicular to its body. It seemed to nap between bursts as the wing expunged life from its thorax. I blew gently on the wings. This aided their formation, and spurred on, I carefully removed the remaining husk of the cocoon, taking care not to remove one of its legs in the remaining stickiness of the sac. I watched in wonder as the beautiful dragonfly stood before me, inches from my face, still too fragile to fly, but there it was, existing, seizing life, fighting for its place in the world. I continued to blow gently along its whole length, breathing life onto it, into it. Its wings were now strong and vibrant in blues, greens and golds, translucent in the sun. They separated and doubled in number. I watched as each leg was tested, as the tail was coiled and uncoiled in the warmth. Then, like a Spitfire pilot starting the engines, the wings tried to vibrate. Start, stop, start, stop. I continued to dry it with my breath. Then fuel hit the engine and the wings burst into life. New life. It rested there for a few seconds more, then hovered millimeters above the surface of the wood. Then it took off, with no rush to leave, dancing round me in what seemed to be an air display of gratitude, with no fear of my presence. Its circles around me got larger as I stood. Then, in a final flyby, it was off, across the water, skimming and shimmering, rejoicing in life. I watched and yearned to fly away with it.